What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to another Chiefs Comments with Kramer. I'm your host, as truly, Kramer Sansone. Hope everybody's having a lovely, wonderful Thursday. It's another Thursday, another week. It's not a bye week, and we're in week 7. Bye week's done. Week 7's here, and honestly, this season has been flowing straight by. I can't believe we're going to go into the upcoming 7th week, and also have a chance as Kansas City Chiefs still remaining undefeated. So we're gonna see more of that later on, or not. I guess we'll have to see. But this is Chiefs Comments with Kramer. If you haven't done so, haven't sent me some comments, feel free to send them now. You can put them in the comment section, whether if you're on X right now, on YouTube. You post live throughout the show. You know what? We'll dissect it all. I'll dissect it all. We'll have a conversation like this, back and forth action. So yeah, feel free to comment during the show. Already have comments. If you wanted to beforehand, you could have submitted it on X, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, however you can get a hold of me. If you have a comment, question, or concern over this Kansas City Chiefs team, just feel free. Send it to me with passion. You can 1,000% if you want to do that. So yeah, no, hopefully everyone's having a lovely, wonderful Thursday. And if this camera can actually stay put and stay correct and according to, that would be kind of nice. But you know what? We might be a little angular today. Might be a little bit angular. We'll figure it out at some point. This is how it is. We'll makeshift do it live. But first, as we always do, is go through all of the injury reports so far. And I'll tell you what, Kansas City is looking pretty good. Kansas City is looking great, looking fine on the injury report list S, as he only got 4 players on there. The first one to note who did not practice was Mike Dana. He didn't practice yesterday. Still, there's more practices currently going on right now, and especially for the 49ers, the practice hasn't even happened yet. I don't think they're even in the building. No, they're in the building, Kramer. They are. But no, Mike Dana was sidelined yesterday who did not practice with his pectoral injury. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a full practice. Same with Mecole Hardman and Derek Nowdy. Those guys were the ones that showed up on the Chiefs injury report list. For the 49ers, though, it was a list of people. And these are the guys who did not practice yesterday. Granted, 2 of these guys were for rest reasons, and I'll go over those guys right now, which is Trent Williams and Leonard Floyd. They didn't practice because of rest. But the other guys, hip injury for Juwan Jennings, knee for Malik Collins as their defensive tackle, ankles for Jake Moody, and their kicker, shoulder, and back, Matthew Wright. So 2 kickers on the injury report list. Not sure how that's going to go and fly for this upcoming game. So I'm curious about other guys who are listed on the injury report: Jordan Mason, the running back; Deebo Samuel, the wide receiver; Jordan Elliott, defensive tackle; Darrell Luter, a corner; Michael Mustapha, a safety; Ricky Persall, wide receiver, which he's probably going to be. He's a full practice, so good for him making his way back. Demetrius Fowles. He's out with a calf, but he had full practice yesterday. And Charvarius Ward, who his knee has been bothering him, he had full practice yesterday. So I'm curious if he's going to still stay the same for that. So that's the injury report for this upcoming. That was Wednesday's report. Thursday's report's going to come here relatively soon. But yeah, no, that's the injury report. But so now it's time for the show that is why you're all here. It's the comments.
Let's get to the comments.
And like I said at the beginning of the show, if you have a comment right now, heck, put it in the comment section, whether if you're on X or on YouTube. Also, if you're on X or YouTube right now, if you're on X, repost this video. That'd be sweet. Show us some love. And also, if you want to hit that little heart button on there, that'd be also kind of sweet. And don't forget to turn on notifications and follow us on X. On the YouTube side of things, might as well just hit the subscribe button because it's there. It's free. Why not? If you support us so much, we thank you. We obviously do thank you. But if you could like this video, subscribe. Do not forget to turn on notifications, because if you don't turn on notifications, people, how would you know when the show goes live at 2:30 on a Thursday, or when the Daily Fix with Ron Hughley goes live at around noon? Since it's your Daily Fix, heck, who knows when you don't have it on notifications on, you won't know when each season comes out. Showing BK, Brian B. Shining, like literally. Turn on notifications, people. If you haven't done so, do it right now. So let's get to the first question or comment or concern that Chad sent in. Chad, he says, could the Chiefs go undefeated this season? Seems like the 49ers, Texans, Bills are their hardest games left. Seems like the 49ers might be the biggest challenge, though. I wouldn't say they're the biggest challenge. I think the biggest challenge will come into effect when they do play the Bills later on this year. The 49ers game is interesting, though, because if it was a fully healthy offensive, assault, the thing with there might be a lot of people on this injury report, but my goodness, the offensive line for the 49ers is atrocious. It's not good. The best person they have on that team is Trent Williams, and he can only protect one side, one position, probably one player when it comes to keeping Brock Purdy upright. He's not gonna be able to get George Karlaftis on one side and Chris Jones on the other. He's not a big enough man for that.
I believe the Kansas City Chiefs will absolutely eat on this and destroy this offensive line. So I wouldn't say this is the toughest game that they have. I do still strongly believe that it is the Buffalo Bills later on the season. Texans should give them fits, kind of like how the 49ers will give them fits this Sunday. But I still think the Chiefs have the best chance, like you said, to have an undefeated season. And if they go undefeated, can you imagine if the Chiefs go undefeated and they three-peat? Like, that would be putting the cherry on the top of the most picturesque moment that the Kansas City Chiefs have had for the last 3 seasons by going back to back to back and ending it with a perfect season. That is storybook, fairy tale ending-esque. No wonder why Taylor Swift wants to be a part of this team, because she knows what's going on. She's seen the NFL script, and if the NFL script's going on a path like that, shoot, I guess sign me up. I guess I'd take all of my Las Vegas Raiders or any type of Raider stuff down, because you guys just won me over a Chiefs fan. Now, you already probably thinking like, wow, Kramer, you're not even a Chiefs fan. You're doing all this stuff. I love football. I love talking about football. I love talking about good football. And you know what happens in good football? Kansas City Chiefs are doing some good football right now, and I love to talk about it because it's the best in the league. I don't care how banged up they are. I don't care how many times people always want to talk down on them. They're still going to win the game because they have one guy and one guy only. It's not Pat Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. Andy Reid is the mastermind behind the Chiefs' success, and if people don't realize it, wake up. Wake up. There's a good chance for an undefeated season, but I do not think it is the 49ers who's going to have the biggest tough test up against them. On to the next one from Jake. Will the Chiefs trade for a wide receiver? Who's it going to be? I don't think the Chiefs will trade for a wide receiver. If they would have done that, they would have done it already. There's a reason why they brought guys in at the beginning of the season if they didn't think they were talented enough. They brought in McCole Hardman. They brought in Juju Smith-Schuster. Former guys who have played on this team. And now it's like wondering, there is a former guy that was on this team, last year who was just released. They should not have to trade for anybody. They should not have to sign for anybody. I think they have enough people on this team, unless something else happens on this wide receiver of a core. If somebody gets hurt, they're going to have to bring somebody in because they're just going to be running out of bodies at that point in time. Do I think they go out there and they trade for a wide receiver? Absolutely, they shouldn't. They don't need to. Do not go out there and sign Darius Slayton or trade for Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton literally just got injured in his last game, and who knows if that's going to be a lingering injury through the remainder of the season, or if it's a week-by-week situation. Who knows? Don't get Darius Slayton. I wouldn't worry about even getting Tyreek Hill. Why would you trade for a guy? I get it. Hollywood Brown's on a 1-year deal, and he may not even play this season. He may play a game in the playoffs. Who knows if he even will play a game in the playoffs? Do not trade for Tyreek Hill either. You just don't need it. You literally have your future set in stone. Granted, I know Rashee Rice could not play it the remainder of the season or in the playoffs and have to serve a suspension next season. I know. I get it. I completely get it. But at that point in time, that's next season. You're just going to worry about right now. This team right now is still light years ahead of other teams in the NFL. So I think the Chiefs wide receiver room is absolutely fine. Someone should step up. Someone that I would like for him to step up, but it's going to be very hard to. It's like pulling teeth of Sky Moore. If Sky Moore could step up, this team would be absolutely molded perfectly for what they're trying to do, especially if guys are hurt. So I guess we'll have to see what happens when it comes to this Sunday at 3:25 with the kickoff over in San Fran. That's what I think. All right, this is from this comes right on in from TX Chiefs fan. That makes no sense. So they signed Hollywood Brown in the offseason and got Worthy in the draft to pair with Rice because the guys that are currently weren't good enough. But now the 2 and the 3 are missing, and you think they're good? I thought this team was good, hands down, at the beginning of the season. I didn't think that they needed to bring in Kadarius Toney. They tried that out. He's not even gone. He's gone. Heck, there's a guy people could pick up off if they want to bring in a Chiefs. No, this team, I thought this team was great with Xavier Worthy on this team and bringing it on in. Bringing in Hollywood, nice. We already know what Rashee Rice was going to do coming to the season because we saw what the production value was at the back half of last year and what he did in the playoffs for them to actually help win the Super Bowl. This team, you just need to trust what Andy Reid's doing. Justin Watson's going to make a play. Juju Smith-Schuster, we saw him get 130 yards last week. They're banged up on the defensive side. The secondary, I get it, for the 49ers is not as fully healthy. But if you can just run those sweeps with McCole Hardman, Xavier Worthy, if you go laterally, you should be fine. Like literally, he's got to make one guy miss on that defense, and that's Fred Warner. So I think this team's fine, and that's when Travis Kelce's going to show up. Once Travis Kelce shows up, I think every single Chiefs fan's going to be fine. That's just how I think. But hey, TX Chiefs fan, Texas Chiefs fan. Thank you for the comment, dude. Appreciate that. On to the next one, which, by the way, if you want to comment live during the show, feel free, like I just did there. We'll just play it, hash it out, keep it straight. This one's from Jordan. The AFC messed up letting Josh Allen get Amari. Hear that banging in the background? That's like the trash can banging from the Houston Astros. This is a trash comment. Amari Cooper dropped so many footballs. You really think Josh Allen is good with this? I mean, he got a big name wide receiver. Bravo. But Amari Pooper Scooper is what, 30-something years old, has already led the league in drops already this season, I believe. Heck, the last game he just played in a Browns uniform. Wait, was it in the Browns uniform or was it in the Bills uniform? No, he's at the last game. I just know the last time we saw Amari Cooper drop a big pass this year, and it ended up being an interception. So I feel confident saying that Josh Allen still doesn't have any weapons in Buffalo. Just going to lay it out there. The AFC did not mess up. The AFC still runs through Kansas City. Even when the Chiefs weren't in the Super Bowl, the AFC still ran through Kansas City. You realize that, right? They didn't mess up. Amari Cooper's going to drop the most crucial catch that the Bills need to secure at a given moment in a meaningful game. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. It's from Cameron. All right, there we go. That's one guy I alluded to. The Bills released earlier on. MVS will sign with the Chiefs. That's a bold take. That's a huge bold take. I don't think they're going to get MVS. Unless they do get MVS, and he's going to go down as one of the most absolute clutch players in playoff history, because you already know, if he's on this team, he will make a big play in the playoffs. It's like Frank Clark shows up in the playoffs always. MVS shows up in the playoffs. He had that great catch was against Baltimore to get the first down. That's all you really need from a guy like MVS. Heck, if you could bring back a former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver, the people who are watching right now, thank you. But if in the comments right now, if you could bring back a former Chiefs player who's like on the skill level of like MVS, I don't know, like a Marcus Kemp, maybe a Jody Fortson, and Fortson's anybody like on those line of players, like Chris Conley. Heck, I'm just saying, should the Chiefs bring a guy like that back in? You're not going to get a big name dude whatsoever. But MVS will sign with the Chiefs. It's a bold take right there, Cameron. Bold take. Go from Cameron to Cam. Who will be the unsung hero for the Chiefs? Juju again? I hope it's Juju for fantasy reasons, because I was very high on him, and he did great last week, and it was a very good one for me and some of my fantasy teams. Hardman gets a breakout against the 49ers. Will Sky Moore stop being a bust? I love all of these, Cam. I do. Juju, again, probably is the one. Juju's probably going to be the number one wide receiver going into this game. Number two is probably going to be Xavier Worthy. Hardman might get the 3. Maybe Justin Watson gets 3, or Justin Watson gets 2. I'd be curious to see how the starting lineup goes, because it's a big question mark around this team right now. Sky Moore, I hope and pray that he could step up at some point in time, but I just won't. I don't think we're going to see it. We've already seen him get so many chances already, and he gives up so much. Like he just makes mistakes, the little mistakes. He doesn't think he's ever going to get the football. I am playing a premium position, if it's wide receiver or tight end, I want to expect that I'm getting the football every single time I run a route, because Mahomes, he might be looking the right side of the field, but you already know with his peripheral vision, he's looking at whoever it is on his left side without even looking there. He could just see it open up, especially if a team's in zone. I get it. Mahomes hasn't had the best season so far, but when they're in zone, he absolutely carves up that defense. So I hope Sky Moore breaks that, stops being a bust. McCole Hardman could break out this game, especially if they do a lot of jet sweeps, which I think they should. We're going to see a lot from that we're going to see a lot of misdirections with the 49ers anyway, so why not pair it up with the Chiefs finally doing their misdirection stuff this week? Because laterally, the 49ers aren't great laterally. Vertically, yeah, they can stop. There won't be a deep shot. If there's a deep shot in this game, Xavier Worthy better get to that point, whether if it's him receiving the catch or knocking that ball out like we saw in that Atlanta Falcons game when they were in Atlanta a handful of weeks ago, which that seems like an eternity ago. you haven't done so, like this video, subscribe. Do not forget to turn on notifications. Feel free to comment throughout the show. We've already got a live comment that came in through here, and we've already discussed. So feel free, if you have any comments burning right now, put in the comment section. As now from Trav, are the Chiefs signing MVS before or after Sunday? Okay, what is with these people wanting MVS on this team? Do you really want MVS on this team? Like, is that like a dire emergency for the Chiefs fans right now? It's like, oh, we got to keep the keyboard warriors out going right now, and like, yeah, no, we need to get MVS. Give MVS. No, you should not have to think. All right, out of all these wide receivers out here, which they shouldn't need a wide receiver, MVS is our guy. They're not going to get him at all. Not even after Sunday. MVS is staying a free agent. I think you have a better shot of bringing in Kadarius Toney than having MVS on this team. They're both going to drop a football. They're both going to mess up on a play during the regular season, but just who's going to do it in the playoffs? That's all. That's all I'm here for. The playoffs. Yeah, no, Chiefs fan. Texas Chiefs. Yes, no way. They released for MVS for a reason. Exactly. I sometimes I don't get it, people. It's not rocket science. We've seen so many guys like McCole Hardman serves a purpose on this team to bring back. He's been with this organization. What? They drafted him in 2019, 2020. I think it was 2019. They drafted him because of a security blanket, just in case things got a little iffy with the Tyreek Hill situation that was happening around here with his fiance, girlfriend, whatever she was, and with the son. That's the reason why McCole Hardman was drafted to this team. They enjoyed what McCole Hardman brought to this team. He brought a different dimension. Granted, he wasn't like what they were expecting him to be, like Tyreek Hill or anything, but he was a guy who could fill out a role and serve the role properly. When he went to the Jets, didn't find a lick of squat, and the Chiefs knew that they could benefit having McCole Hardman back. That's why they brought him in. That's why they wanted to re-sign him in the offseason. So MVS should not be lumped in with a guy they bring back who's formerly on this team. It just shouldn't. So, yeah, no. All right. This is my last comment so far that I have that have been sent in. So just saying, got to tell this one, and then we're going to wrap up the show. So feel free, if you have a comment, please comment away. This is from Kobe. Hot take: there will be no undefeated teams after this week. Who are the other undefeated teams in the NFL? I know the Vikings are. Oh man, I gotta pull up the standings right now. I should know the other two. Why can't I think of the other two? Besides the Chiefs, granted, I know the Chiefs are undefeated, people. Chiefs. That's the AFC. Let's go to the NFC. No, just the Chiefs and Vikings. Man, for some reason I thought there was 3 teams. Interesting. No, that both teams are going to win this week. I think Vikings win. I also think that the Chiefs win. So that's I think it's a lie. I do think it's a lie. All right, look at this comment right here. I think the Chiefs need a receiver. We don't have to agree, but I think they need one. However, I do believe there will be an issue trying to get someone to learn our offense fast enough to make an impact. So it's probably not happening. That is what I'm thinking, because we're in week 7 right now. Week 8, and then the deadline's over with. I just kind of like, okay, for instance, Mike Williams. I'm assuming that's a big name for people who are like, yeah, no, Mike Williams is out there. The Jets are trying to trade him. Maybe he's the option. Maybe he's the guy the Chiefs want. We already see what wide receivers are going for right now. 3rd rounders, 4th rounders. That's just the big, broad spectrum of this stuff. You bring Mike Williams in here. You bring Darius Slayton in here. They're not going to learn this offense quickly. Like, I hope they do. I hope they bring it in and jump it and go on for stride. Like, all right, here's the plays we want you to run. Go out there. But you already know Andy, whenever they bring somebody in, he's already dialing up something for him. Like, all right, I want to make sure this is how I'm going to get him open so he can come on in. At least we have one set play with X receiver that we just brought in. If you do bring in a wide receiver, it's got to be a former player, and I don't think they've been doing it. So, Chiefs fan, who should the Chiefs bring in? That's what I'm curious. Who out of all the wide receivers out there on the market, whether if it is a free agent or a person that they trade for, which look at free agency right now, there's still some quality level wide receivers that are still out there. The biggest name that comes to my mind is Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow is still a free agent. That guy catches literally everything. And if the Chiefs were looking for a player like that, I would assume that they would have already trying to go out there and maybe offer him something. But out of all of the wide receivers, I don't like anybody. The biggest thing that I would do is just go out there and trade for Tyreek Hill, and that's not happening. It just won't. So, no one learns the offense as that fast. Don't know why, but they don't. There's a lot of information when NFL players get things in there. It's just not like Wes pulling up on Madden, which I play constantly, and try to learn a playbook that way. I don't know. But you know what? That's a soapbox. I digress. But man, what a day. What a day. We are literally 3 days away. 3 days, Friday, Saturday, for week 7 to begin for us in Kansas City. Absolutely wild. We're about to hit week 7. Then it's Raiders week. Buckle up, people. It's going to go by fast. Before you know it, it'll be Christmas. Now, before you know it, it'll be Thanksgiving. Then it'll be Christmas. Then it'll be February. You know what happens in February? The Chiefs just won it all. That's exactly what happens. That'll do it here for Chiefs Comments with Kramer. Hope you all have a wonderful Thursday. I'll talk to you all next week at 2:30 on Thursday. You know what? If you have a comment that's burning right now, you know what? You can just tell me after the show because we will dissect it next week. Put a smile on your face, Kansas City. Have a good one.